Welcome to the fish room, everyone. Today we're going to be doing a full tour of my entire fish room slash fish shop breeding facility. A lot's changed since the last time we've done a video like this, and I'm going to update you guys. So we've got the shop and we've got my back breeding room, and I'm going to show you kind of both of those things today. We'll start off out here. This is the main shop, and previously this used to be the entire shop. So there's, I think, 50 tanks back here. It's kind of like a smaller space. You can see we've got lots and lots of fish here at the moment, and there's like a wall here with a window. The shop used to end here. Since the last time I filmed a video here, I've changed the store layout a little bit. This back area here, which I'm going to show you in a second, used to be breeding tanks. And as it turns out, there was probably way too many breeding tanks. I mean, we were filling them up, but at the end of the day, it was a ton of work and it was a bit over the top. Like, we had way too many tanks, and I decided to narrow it down to a smaller space. So we're still breeding heaps and heaps of fish, but it's in a little bit of a more confined space, which means we can do better quality. You know, there's less species variety, but it's easier for me to manage in my busy filming and breeding schedule. So this is the shop. If you come back here, so this here is some more tanks we've got, like little nano fish and the better rack, and got some bug buffet and green cuisine here. We've sold out of a lot of it because it's just been very, very popular, which is a really good problem. So we've got this on back order, and there should be heaps of it available by the time this video goes up. But if you come back out here, we've got like a little packing station, and this now is all part of the shop. So you can see tanks are full of fish. We've got fish that I've bred, fish that we've bought in, and we quarantine all the fish, so they're always really, really good quality. I'll talk about that in a second. But it goes all the way back here. We've got some dry good. We're very slowly building up our dry good. We've got shirts for sale too. You can buy these. We print them up here, and they're very, very good quality. I don't know why I'm not wearing one today. They feel like you're getting a hug from God, literally. More product. And then back here as well is shop. So these all used to be breeding tanks here. I talked about it in a previous video that I was going to partition this part off. So back here, we've got like a wall now, and these are all the 4-foot tanks. I use all these tanks for growing out fish. This is quite an extensive part of the room, but this, to be honest, at the moment is looking terrible, and that's because I went away earlier this year, and you can't breed fish while you're away. So we didn't do any breeding, and we sold out of these tanks, and now they're kind of just like looking a little bit disheveled, and I'd like for them to look better, but they don't. So I'm not going to show you guys this today because I've been breeding a ton of fish that are going to move in here. So this will get back up to its good standard very, very soon, but we've been focusing on just trying to get this new part of the shop up and running, and this for now isn't really that important to the whole shop, so we've just been leaving it. We've also got, this is the breeding room out here. So now this is like what I've been spending all my time on. This is like the main area for me that I spend a lot of the time when I come here. So this is where I've got like all of my favorite breeding projects. I'm picking eggs, I'm raising out fry, and this is like the hatchery portion of the entire store. So there's still like 100 tanks here. We lost, I think, 60 breeding tanks, which was like barely making a difference to the entire breeding program. Like, it was actually ridiculous how many breeding tanks we had compared to stored tanks. So in my opinion, some people will be like, oh, Nick's not breeding so many fish. It's like, yeah, but like, I'm still breeding heaps, and now my customers who come in get a way better experience. So I'm pretty happy with how it's all going. And we're also, I have to mention, open 5 days a week now. So we were only open on Saturdays, and that was just so that I could breed, and it was just getting into the flow of having a business. But now we're open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're open 10 to 4 on every day except for Thursdays. On Thursdays, we do a really special late night shopping. So we open at 2 p.m. till 8 p.m. I'll flash those hours up on the screen. Definitely come down on the late night, it's kind of cool. If you come after work, it's got a cool vibe here at night. So what we're gonna do is, I think I'll start in the shop, show you some of the fish we have, and talk you through like my processes and all that. Then we'll get back here in the breeding room and do some breeding tips and show you guys the whole facility. I haven't shown you it for a while. So we'll start out here. Now, I kind of don't want this video to entirely be about the shop because a lot of you guys can go to fish shops and see a lot of the fish that we have here. I don't know if it's like super duper interesting, but we do have like a lot of fish that we have bred. So down here, these are all, Sammy, he wants to go home. These are all turquoise rainbows that I've bred. So it's kind of a cool thing to be able to like have all these tanks extra in a way, because what I do is like I'll breed a ton of fish and then we'll put them out in the sale tanks, but I don't keep them in the back breeding room. But like I've kind of got like a backup stock of breed stock that I can use, even though it's like out in the shop and it's not like fully quarantined. Like we take care of all the fish and all that, so it's not really a worry. If I want to breed these turquoise rainbows again, I can just pull them out of the shop. And it's the same for fish that we buy. So any fish that we do buy, like for instance up here, these are gold flame tetras, and when we bought these would have gone straight into quarantine. So I used to have like a quarantine area out the back, and I found that a bit like redundant the way we were doing it because we were spending so much time moving fish from tank to tank. So what we did was every time a fish would come into the store, it would go into like its own tank in the store, and we'd label it in quarantine and have like a release date. And basically we wouldn't sell those fish for like, it's a week. So we wouldn't sell those fish for a week. If we noticed any issues, we would medicate and then extend the quarantine. And then that way, any fish that came in, we monitored for a week. We got them used to our conditions before we sold them. It slows down our turnover, but it means that we get a better product than other fish stores. And some other fish stores might do that in our area, but I feel like it's a must do for us. So I'm super anal about it. I'm always on top of it and making sure that we don't sell fish that are sick. And if we do sell fish that are sick, we always refund them as well. So that's something I'm really, really passionate about. And I think it's the right thing to do by the fish, the customer. And I want fish in the store that I can use to breed. That's like the quality that I go for. So feed them all like really good foods. They all get bug buffet, green cuisine, and yeah, we've got, what are you doing in there, Sam? Come on. Lots and lots of fish here. With my selling tanks, we decided to paint them all black. And the reason I did that was I found that it brought the color out of a lot of the fish. I've been around a lot of stores and I've seen the different colors they use. A lot of stores like to use blue, and I find it a little bit tacky. It looks all right on some tanks, but it kind of looks a little bit tacky to me. The good thing about the black is it doesn't show the algae as bad. So I don't think algae is bad for tanks, but a lot of people, you know, it's not the most pleasing look for selling stuff. So I found the black tanks actually work really well. They're on brand, and you know, right here, like all these little pencil fish, they look stunning, where I feel like if they were in a blue tank, they wouldn't stand out so much. So like for certain fish, like it looks like shit. Like black fish, they don't stand out. But I feel like black's the most natural color that you can get for a tank. So that was another choice we have here. Another thing that's kind of cool about the shop is we have automatic water changes. So they're like kind of semi-automatic. Our town water has chloramines in it, which is a real pain in the butt because chloramines you can't filter out super easily. So the way this works is each tank's got like an in. So the water comes in like here. So each tank would have one of these like little sprinkler heads. So that sprinkler head goes in the top corner, and each tank has a drain. And the way the water system works is me and the girls will mix up like a formula of like safe, and we squirt it into all the tanks we're gonna do a water change on. We have like a solution that we use, and then that gets rid of the chloramines. We just turn this on, and now all those tanks are getting a water change. So there's water going in and diluting, and that makes the shop really easy to run. I don't understand how so many stores aren't on automatic water changes, because we have at the moment 2 staff. We probably need an additional staff member. We probably need like 3, but with 2 staff, we're able to run all of this and the breeding room, and yeah, it's thanks to the water change system. It was a pain in the butt to set up, but it's paid dividends for me in the long run. What else is cool back here? I mean, down here, these are kind of cool. These are some betters that I bred a while back. So I'm gonna use some of these for a breeding project in the future, but these were like a blue marble koi better that I bred and then grew out, and now we've got them all in a tank. I think a lot of people, like customers, are wondering, oh, can you keep bedders together and how does it work? For me, like I don't really promote the sororities or doing like all female bedder tanks. The only reason this tank works is because firstly, there's so many bedders in here. There's like at least 30 in there. So even if there was aggression, they don't really know who to pick on. And they all grew up together. So because they all grew up together, they kind of like don't have the same aggression. But if I started pulling heaps of them out, we'd probably start to have some issues. This is kind of a cool tank, the bedder tank. I mean, we've got all these rams up here too. Our rams have to be the nicest in Brisbane. We bred all of these ourselves in the back area. And these are just German blue rams. You can see how cool they are. These are a really neat little fish. But we bred all of these ourselves, so that's kind of cool. I mean, these Parkinsoni rainbows we bred ourselves. I've kind of slowed down on breeding the rainbows because they just take so freaking long to grow. And at the end of the day, like, we don't have as many customers that want to buy this as someone that wants to buy like neons. So I kind of I don't want to be stuck on fish for a long time, even though like, it's a shame to not be breeding them. Like I want someone to breed them. I just feel like I can't do it. It's the same for these. Like these are ramuensis, right? Glossolepis ramuensis. I don't know many people in Australia that would have this fish, and they look awesome now. These are like a year old. So it's like a lot of work for a schooling fish that, you know, you could have done something else in the meantime and turned over way quicker and more people would be interested in buying. Like, and then people look at this and they see $30 and they don't want to pay it. Like that's a year to get that $30. So yeah, I don't know. I like love rainbow fish. I went nuts with them. I loved collecting them, and I'm definitely gonna like probably do another batch of these just for fun, just to keep them in the collection. But I have to be careful to not like hoard tons of different species because they otherwise you have all these tanks full of future breeding projects and you actually never do anything. So I'll also at some point have to let go of things and let someone else hopefully do it. So yeah, I mean, we bred all these guppies. The store's got like lots of random things in it at the moment. Back here, we've got some other batches of stuff that I bred. These are the white cloud minnows. I bred all of these myself just for fun. They're such a pretty fish in a big like number, hey?
Yeah, they're awesome.
They look awesome, hey? Underrated, I think. And they're cheap as chips. Super easy to breed, fun. We got angels, pygmy cories, tetras. There's, you know, fish everywhere in here. You know, our cardinals look really looking nice at the moment too. I really want to try and breed these actually. Some fat females in there, so it might be next on the list. Bosmani rainbows. But yeah, like the other thing too that's cool about this store is because I've been a breeder for a really long time, I have a lot of respect for like local breeders and people having a go. So when I can, I really try and always buy local. So if you guys are local breeders to Brisbane, come in the store, bring in a little price list and tell us what you got, because I always try and buy things local. I don't really like doing imported that much because the quality's not as good, and I'd rather support local breeders and make a little bit of a community. But yeah, we've got some more fish out here. These pearl danios I bred myself for fun. So we try and breed as many different things as we can here to sell, and just because it's my passion, I love breeding fish way more than I love selling fish. This is cool. Actually, this has stayed in the shop since, this is like a leftover of the breeding room. This was the experiment I did where I crossed all the different shrimp colors. So I'm not going to show the results of this right now because I want to save it, but it's been a year, so I've got the yearly update, which I'm going to do, but there's some shrimp breeding going on here. What the heck's he doing, dude? What are you doing?
He's eating plants.
Well, do you reckon we just get straight into the back room then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Alrighty, so we're in the back room now, and this is where we're doing all the breeding. So let's probably start up in this tank. This is a really, really cool fish. I've probably shown this before in other tours, but something that I've been working on and something that I've been doing a lot. So I've been playing around with the blue eyes. So I've been doing heaps of blue eyes, and these are part of the collection. These are Ivan Stoffies. I think they're really cool. They've got like these really, really luminescent blue eyes. You remember when I showed you them last time?
Yeah.
Come have a look. Like, you can see they're kind of like laser stand out to me. There's one with a hunchback in there, but that's not really a problem. She's just an old female. Dude, I got so close to losing these. Like, so close. I had, I think originally like 3 pairs I picked out myself. And then I bred a heap and like had some babies. These are really notorious jumpers.
True.
They were jumping, the lid's not on either, but they were jumping out like crazy. I came back, when I came back from the US, it was like all females, no males. So what I had to do was get some babies from like a tank and then grow them out again. And like in the last 2 weeks, finally got them breeding again. There's probably eggs in here too. They lay freaking massive eggs for blue eyes, like massive. I can compare the size of egg, but like they normally have eggs in here.
Ooh,
One sec. There you go. That's a big egg. That's like Corys. Some Corys lay smaller eggs than that. And they're a tiny fish, so this is normally riddled with eggs. This one's actually close to hatching. See that one?
yeah.
You can already see like the embryo. Kind of neat, hey? I'll dump that in here. Just randomly one day find one of them. But those are the Ivan Stoffies. They're a really cool fish. Down here, I've been breeding these forever. These are the Luminatus. I've shown you guys these before. They're probably one of my favorite blue eyes because they're just so stunning. I've got them in my tank in my living room at home, but just to show you the egg like difference in size, I think it's kind of fascinating. Like, look at that one. That's a Luminatus egg there. Heaps of these I normally have on my website as well for sale. So if you guys want to buy some, they are a little bit pricey. They're a rarer blue eye at the moment, but the more that we can get out and breed up, the more the price will come down. So
That's right.
they're cool. Their eyes aren't as luminescent, but they got like a red body and a blue line on the top. And when they spar, they look incredible. So they're probably always going to be like a part of my fish collection, I guess, now and forever. These are cool. Have I shown you these before? These are honey blue eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're neat.
Yep.
So I've got them in this dark tank, and I normally add some botanicals in here. I actually bred all these honey blue eyes. So these were, I got a few off Jason from his pond, and then I bred them. And for some reason I had trouble just like hatching the babies out, but I've seemed to have done a little bit of a better job. They weren't breeding for me pretty much all the summer because it was too hot. Like it was like 28, 29 degrees in here. And since then, the temperature's probably about 22, 21 degrees Celsius, and they just went nuts. The second it started hitting like 24 degrees Celsius, they went nuts. And this mop was full of eggs, and I started to get a ton of them hatching out. But a lot of people say you need to breed these outdoors for them to do really well. And I think that might be the case, but since I've had this, like, these are my F1s I'm up to. Let's see if there's any eggs in here. Normally there's a few. Have a look. Yeah, there's an egg there.
Oh yeah.
Same size as Luminatus, kinda. There's another one there. These are like $400 in America.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, per fish. And like here they're $30, so. But yeah, since I bred all these ones. So like I call them my F1s. That's technically not the right terminology, but they're my first generation. Their eggs are hatching better for me. So there is fry in here that we can show you. But they're doing a bit better now that I've got my own generations. What else I got here? We can have a look at these. These are kind of boring for me, but I kept them for fun. These are a fish that I've never been able to get rid of. These are the blue star endlers. And I don't know why I decided to start up another tank of endlers. I think they're just fun to look at. You know, there's always something going on in here. If you feed them some bug buffet, they go ape shit. Like, so the reason I say I've never been able to get rid of these, if you go like way back on my channel, I used to have my fish room in my mum's breakfast room. And then these I bought from a guy at the Gold Coast like years ago, like 2018 it would have been. And I bred a ton of them in like a 4-foot tank. And then somehow they made it into the other room, the first room. And then I tried to get rid of them, but there was always like 1 or 2 fry that would survive in a tank. So then they breed up again like this. Same thing happened here. So this is the same line of fish that I've had basically since the start. So it's like almost like sentimental now. I gotta keep them. So you can see I just throw the clumps in there for them and they go crazy. There's some really big heifers in there. I think they were just fed, so they're not that ravenous, but those are the blue star endlers. So I'm breeding up some of them for fun. In here, I got a feeling you'll like this fish for some reason. These are the emperor tetras. So I've been growing some of these out for a while. They're a really neat tetra, dude. The males are so stunning. They've got like a blue eye. Yeah, I know. They got a blue eye, and then the females have like green eyes, and they're a little bit like less colorful, but the females still look cool. But dude, they're so aggressive. They're like little piranhas, and I love them. The other fish that's in there is some threadfin rainbows that I bred ages ago, and I've just been growing out. Do you reckon they look cool?
Yeah, that's sick. I love the fins on these.
Yeah, I know, they're really neat. I've actually figured out how to breed them pretty well. So, I don't know, I think these were like a failed batch and I only had like 5. So I just raised them up in here. But they're actually cohabitating pretty well. So I've been breeding the emperors in the back room. I can show you the fry later on in the video. But I couldn't get them to breed for ages. I think Tony gave me like a pair ages ago.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, and I bred them up. Well, I didn't breed them up. I accidentally bred them before I went to America, and there was babies in a tank. So then I raised those babies up, and now that's these. And now I've finally figured out, since Regina came to the fish room, a better way to breed tetras, which we can talk about later on. But that's the emperor tetras. I really want to breed like a boatload of them. I've just become obsessed with tetras. I don't know why. I think tetras could be the next thing. You know how like nano fish is like a thing, and like, I don't know, I feel like some of the really cool tetras like people are going to start getting into and collecting. Like they seem really collectible. So let's go down here. This is a tank of fry, and in here, these are sex lineata fry. So this is a really cool looking rainbow. If you guys go back and watch some of the old fish room tours, you'll see like I used to have a ton of different rainbows. And since the start of this year, I've kind of refined down a little bit the amount of rainbows I'm breeding. So I'm only breeding like my real favorites and then like a few select others batch by batch, because the problem is rainbows take so long to grow. They don't look colorful for a really long time. And then when they're adults, they look amazing and they don't sell so well. So like, obviously I knew that breeding them up, but I just got addicted to it. So I've really refined back, but the sex lineatas I've been breeding a ton of praecocks as well. If you have a look in here, this is a batch of praecocks in here. I'll give them a bit of food too. So I've been breeding up the praecocks because they're colorful, and I find the praecocks actually grow a little bit quicker than other rainbows. They always sell really well as well, and they're the first ever rainbow fish I got, so I've been keeping this line for a long time. I've harped on about it before, but the praecocks I have are like allegedly this line of like descendants of the first ever praecocks that came into Australia, and like they're as pure as they can get, apparently. And I mean, when they grow out, they look phenomenal. So I'm guessing that could be the case, but you can never be like 100% certain, but they're really good little rainbows. So tons of these I've been breeding, and thread fins. Like I said before, I've actually had quite a bit of success with these recently. So this is like some that are kind of reaching sellable size almost. They're still tiny, they take ages to grow. There's probably about 30 in here, and they're really elusive, but can you see them all coming out?
Yeah, they're all coming out.
Yeah. I've been using a ton of this as well. This is a foxtail hornwort.
Yeah.
Dude, it grows so well in my tanks. All of my fry tanks, I've been using that in because the fry can hide in it, and it takes all the nitrates out, and also you can sell this. So yeah, you can also sell it, and I think it looks really pretty. Like all the tanks are like nice and green, and I think it looks really cool. So, but yeah, the way I've been breeding the thread fins is the same way I've always done the rainbows. I'll put the parents in a tank exactly like this, but the only thing that'll be in the tank is a spawning mop, a sponge filter. I won't even have any snails, just like a spawning mop, sponge filter, parents.
Ultra simple.
Yeah, and then I feed them brine shrimp, and then they lay a ton of eggs over like 10 days. Like I'll date the tank or whatever. I take the parents out. These fry are like the tiniest rainbow fry you can get. And a lot of people have struggled with breeding these because they can't raise a fry. And I don't know if I don't know what it is, but the dust from like Green Cuisine or Bug Buffet works really, really well. So I've been I crush it up in like a powder. I've got really tiny fry to show you like on the other side of the room, but like I crush it up in this really fine dust, and apparently they can eat the dust. So I've got a tank of them here. There's some more in there as well. There's like less in here. I mean, these have grown pretty well too. These are some more prey cocks. There's like a couple hundred in here.
Yeah, that greenery really does make it look awesome,
Doesn't it? So I mix this up. And, I mean, they've already been fed today, so they're not like insanely ravenous, but the greenery helps a lot. It makes the room really nice and warm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go with up here, just your good old fashioned neon tetras. I'm telling you, I've been really getting into the tetras lately. I've got some fry of these in a tank over there. I want to do like a heap of breeding videos on like some of the old school species. I was actually thinking the other day, like neon tetras get such a bad rap. I reckon people should be breeding them, keeping them. Like, can you imagine if that fish cost $50? Like how much people would want them? Like that. Neons and cardinals, arguably to me, are like the most outstanding fish that you can get in the hobby.
Oh yeah.
Like every time, like if someone walks into a fish shop and they've never seen fish before, they don't know what they're looking for, like they always notice these, betters, goldfish, and like snails.
They're just impossible to miss.
They're like really, really cool. So I've got them in here, and basically what I do is fatten them up and I spawn them in the spawning tanks, and I just bring them back here. And it's like the same as the Emperor Tetras. So they're really cool. More fry, there's so many fry in here. Look at this one from above actually, I reckon, if you can.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
You can see that kind of pretty well.
Yeah, they're all over where the leaves are.
Yeah. So we can give them a feed. There's that Bug Buffet. But these are Sex lineatas as well. Same down here. These are kind of cool. Jason gave me some of these. These are from his pond. These are the pygmy rainbows. A fish that I've never really had a super high amount of success with. They look phenomenal as adults. And these are starting to look cool. So I'm gonna grow them out and use these as breeders. There's males and females in there. I think the reason I haven't had success with them is because I've always kept them too cold. I think when it comes to rainbows, we always assume that they're like all like to be in the same type of water. The distribution of rainbows, like I've seen from myself, even being out in the wild and catching all different types, they all require really like quite different temperatures. So some like it really cold. Like I used to have a lot of campsies and they liked it pretty cold because I think they were up high in the mountains. These ones, I think, these come from like around the Northern Territory. So like they like it like 28 degrees, and in here at the moment they're like 22. So I think that's probably why they've never bred well. They've survived, but they've just never done amazing. So yeah, I'll get to work on those at some point. These are probably worth mentioning. These are another blue eye. These are the blue eyes that I collected about 1.5 years ago. These are the Ubanangi swamp ones. I call them the Snow Whites because I collected them. I just gave them a name. They look really cool. They're like more of a white body, nice, really, really nice long white fins. I'm probably up to like F2 or F3 of them. They breed really well. Sell lots of them on my website as well. So I'm only breeding 2 types of spotters at the moment. These ones and some Arus that I got. So they they're cool. I mean, we can check for eggs in here and see if they have been breeding. This is a really good example of a breeding tank for spotted blue eyes. I just give them 1 spot to spawn, and then you feed them lots and lots of high protein foods. So frozen brine shrimp, live baby brine shrimp, all that. and they normally lay heaps of eggs. These guys like it about 24 degrees as well, so it's a little bit cold for them. But they normally spawn decently for me. I also feel like these ones are really good at eating their eggs. So, here's an egg. So, I've got videos on my channel on how to breed these. I think pseudomoguls are an excellent fish to breed, especially if you're a beginner. Basically all I do is I'll take these eggs, and then over here I've got like a hatching rack. I'll put the eggs in here, and then I'll just have like a little bit of aeration, like you can see. I put quite a bit of methylene blue in there because they start fungusing up. They don't always fertilize their eggs the best. And another thing I've recently been doing is adding some of that hornwort, like the floating, it's not hornwort, foxtail or whatever, in there. Because what happens is the eggs all have like these little adhesive strings on them. And if you don't put anything in there for them to grab onto, they all grab onto each other. And if something funguses up, it turns like into a major ball of fungus.
Interesting.
So like if you put the plant in there, they start sticking to the plant. So like I'll put eggs in there and like swirl it all up. So like all the little strings get stuck to the plant. The plant actually inevitably dies. Like you can see in here, it turns into like a big ball of mush because it's like a really sensitive plant. But by this time, those eggs down the bottom are ready to go into like a hatching tank. So from here, I'll add them to like, literally I'll just add them to like a 2-foot tank by themselves, like this. And they'll hatch out and I raise them on bug buffet, brine shrimp, and then that's it. That's how I've always bred them. I've never found it too hard. I am also doing some better breeding up here, but I'll kind of like save this for now. We'll talk about this in a later video. In here, these are a really cool fish as well. These are the daisy blue rice fish. These have like insane eyes. Can you see all those little luminescent eyes?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. So there's a funny story with these. I grew up a ton of these in here, and then we took them all out and there was all these plants in here. 2 weeks later, there was full of fry again. So these are all the babies that were left over from the last batch, or all the eggs that were left over in there. So they're insanely easy to breed. I think they're probably one of the nicest rice fish that you can get. They are nice blue. The males get quite dark and they've got like nice eyes. So they're a little bit more of like a hot species. You know, you think rice fish, you think like cold. These wouldn't do well in the cold. They're from Indonesia, so. But another little cool fish I like to keep. So this is why I love that plant. In here, apparently I have clown killifish. But I don't know.
That looks wild.
Yeah. I actually have a bit of a dig around in here. Well, there are clown killies in here, apparently. I'm trying to breed them. I got no clue how to breed them. I've seen eggs in here and I've never tried to pull the eggs out. My plan with them was I just threw like a group of 6 in here and they all spawned. And my plan was that there'd be enough plant cover for the fry to just like raise up in there. But I've never seen a small one. So I don't know if it's worked or whatnot, but it's been good for growing for hornwort, like heaps of it. So yeah, I don't know. I've never seen a small one. I do see the parents in here all the time, and like, I think Jason gave me these, so I just wanted to have a go, but I never gave it like, yeah, that's a female there. I never gave it like a full hard go. Like I never pulled eggs or anything like that. So, I mean, you can't expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough.
You know, there's only so much attention you can give to certain projects, especially when you got like this many going on. So they were kind of like a backseat. I'm just gonna leave them, see if anything happens. I've still got like, you can see a male coming out here. They are a really neat little fish. I might give it a go, like properly at some point. There's another female up there, so. I don't know, I just don't know why, like, surely the babies would last if you threw them in there. Like, I don't know how the babies could be, I don't know how they could eat all the babies in there.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be heaps.
Yeah, weird. I don't know, leave it in the comments if you guys know what the hell I'm doing wrong. There's not many videos online about these and I've never really researched it much, so. Come on over here. These are the adult sex lineatas. They're kind of wigging for me. We'll see if they come over for some bug buffet. These are probably one of the nicest looking rainbows you can get. So like they've got like this really nice green color and they're worth every little cent you spend on them. That's about as big as they get. So they're not a huge rainbow. I reckon these prey cocks, like they would all look so good in a tank. It's not often you get a fish that like is that color and like they're full bodied colored as well. So I think they also got the name Fly River Rainbow. I think they're real neat. So they're almost like the same as like a Gary Lankiao, but they're like smaller. So yeah, got baby rads down here. So I just, for fun, I just bred some of these. These are another rainbow fish. They're like a really long, slender rainbow fish. I think they're really cool. So, you know, when you have this many tanks, you just do little batches of fish for fun. Like that's basically it. Like these aren't to make money or anything like that. These are literally just to like make some so that if someone wanted them, they could get them. And just for me to be like, oh, I bred rads. I think they're cool. So they're getting quite big. The rainbows just take so long to grow, dude. There's some baby ones in here too. There's heaps in here, I think. Mixed up some bug for them as well in there. This is why that floating plant's so good. Because it just gives them so many places to hide.
Oh yeah, you can see them there.
Yeah, where?
Out of swimming.
Oh yeah, there's a couple out the front. It's weird, like most rainbows I find sit up the surface of the water, like they'll stay up here. But the rads kind of go down and they go sit in like the mid-level in comparison to like the top. But yeah, lots of fry in there. Super duper easy to breed and super pretty looking as well. There's a couple really cool tanks here. We'll start with this one. So recently I've been trying to breed some rams and I've been playing around with some leftover black rams that I've had from like the last few years of breeding. Like I'll get like a little special batch and then like I'll have like one or two survive and then like these are the original black rams I had, but they've just kind of gone a little bit shitty on me. In here I have a really nice male black ram and I put a German blue ram female in there. I haven't got any babies off them yet, but in here I've got a really beautiful female black ram and I've got gold balloon rams in here. And I actually got a spawn of these two mixed.
Ooh.
So you know the rams I was showing you before?
Yeah.
We'll show them like at the end of the video, or I'll put B-roll over. But I did get fry from them, so I'm really interested to see what they'll look like.
That could be really cool.
Yeah, you never know what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Like, I just like for me now, like the only thing that matters is having so much fun. And like, I want to do black rams again at some point, but I did them so much that like I kind of like you lose interest. So now I'm like, oh, I wonder what happens if you cross the rams together. Like, will I get black balloon rams or like?
That would be sick.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon will happen?
Yeah, I reckon you could get black balloon rams.
Yeah, it'd just be interesting. So
Or maybe some mix, something in between.
everyone's got their opinion on balloon rams as well, but
Yeah, that's
I think they're cool. So, and then down here, oh no, I lie. I did get fry off these. These are the fry down here. So if I throw some bug at the front, they'll probably all come out for it. They normally come out for it, but yeah, I'm running these tanks pretty hot.
Oh, there they
So there's a balloon ram in there, and there's like a few darker ones. I think these are going to be mostly blue rams, to be totally honest. But yeah, the thing that's annoying about rams is you've got to run them so hot. So like all these tanks have heaters on them. So that is a little bit annoying, but there was a few darker ones in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Look how well these plants are doing too. Remember when I was showing you me planting these out? Look at this crypt. Yeah, I know. It's so good for the tanks. So we sell these at the shop. I think we sell them for like 25 or 30 bucks a pot. So you get like all like, this is a massive plant. Like this is probably one we'd keep. But like a little bit smaller than this, you get like all this submersed grown crypts and they're all so healthy and yeah. Oh, these are cool, dude. Remember when Trevor gave you some of these? And I've been babysitting them?
Yep.
Yeah, so these are down here, these are common whiptails. And these are all the babies. There's a ton of mystery snails in here. But like, I bred some of these. There'd be like 20, 30 in there.
Yeah, it's heaps.
Yeah. Dude, they've been so easy to breed. They almost like breed themselves. So I put them in here, and then the male and the female like bred on the side glass, and then let them go. And basically all I did was I fed them bug buffet and like a little bit of green cuisine. And then when the babies came through, I'd like crush the bug buffet up. It's like a milk, like this, and like would spread and make a surface along the whole tank, and all the little babies could eat it. The other thing that really helped was tons of botanicals, like just leaf litter and that. But yeah, I've got the parent set up over here, so I'll show you that in a second. But they did really well. Oh, these are cool. Remember when we collected these like a month ago? Oh, they are such a cool fish. These are Tenellus. So I had these in really cold water, and they weren't doing anything for me. And before the weekend, I chucked the heater in here and moved them over here. So now it's like 28, 29 degrees in here. I want to see if they've been spawning a bit better for me. Because I had a feeling in summer they were breeding really well. Because it was really hot up there in Darwin as well, where we were collecting them. They've just been funny for me. Like, they've never bred the lights out. I've got like a dozen fry here and there, but yeah, see nothing. Like, I don't know, I just don't get this fish. They're really pretty, but like, I can't work them out. So, and no one's really got them because they're so new to the hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with them. These are kind of cool too. In here, we've got about 300 blue dream shrimp. We sell so many shrimp, dude. It's not even funny. I probably pay most of the bills here at the shop with shrimp.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm not meaning to breed shrimp in here, but like if you look, can you see like all of the shrimp? This plant's covered in the blue shrimp. And they're like really blue. So originally this tank was for some Astartes I got. I got these off the customer, and then I bred them really quickly. There was like 5, I think, in the first group, and I bred them pretty quick. They had a few fry survive, and then I don't remember what happened. Maybe like we overfed the tank or something like that. I lost quite a few of the parents, so I've just got some leftover Astartes in there that I might try and breed soon. But I haven't bothered pulling this tank down because the shrimp are breeding so well. So, like, if you know what I mean, like, why take down a tank that's already doing so well for something else, even though it wasn't the original intention? I'm like, well, you know, the blue dream shrimp are breeding really well. We can use this tank to supply out of that, and we can take some of these and breed them again. So, and then also if I see some more Astartes in another shop, or like another customer brings them in, I can add them to the breeding group and try again. So this is like an example of like a tank that went wrong, but like is still technically like successful. You know what I mean? Since the last tour, I think last time, remember when I had heaps of pygmy cories? Not pygmies. I think I had heaps of pygmies, but
Yeah,
panda
you did.
cories.
Yeah.
I stopped breeding pandas for a while, and I've only just started up another breeding group. So in here, there's some adult pandas. I haven't got any fry yet, but I am gonna try and breed some more of these up because, dude, I was selling them for like $5 each at one point, and I flooded the market. And now like everyone's like, oh, can you get more pandas? Can you get more pandas? And no one's selling them for some reason. So I almost feel like it's my duty to try and breed them up again. But I might need to get a bit of a younger group, because this is like, I think the same old group that I had, or like parts of it. And I've gotten the eggs out of them once, but like none of them were fertilized. So I'm wondering if like the male to female ratio is off in here. But I'm gonna try and breed them again. I really enjoy picking the eggs for these because they're like nice and fat, and like you can get like hundreds of them. So you like just pick them out, and then like hatching them out's really cool. And then when you have like the swarms of them on the bottom of the tanks, it's like super neat as well. So yeah, you wanna go over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so this tank, these are the parents of the whiptails I was showing you before. So there's only a pair in here, but again, for some reason, the shrimp have done so well in this back room. Like really, really well. So these are some yellow cherries in here, and dude, there's like hundreds. So we've actually been harvesting out of here, and like they just keep coming back and bouncing back. But there's heaps of them in here. You can see the females here. That's the female common whiptail. And then there's the male was up behind these roots before. But he could be anywhere. So, but yeah, oh no, he's at the back.
Oh yeah.
See him?
Yeah.
So they're heavily nocturnal. The idea for here is literally just to leave them in there, and when they spawn, they'll raise all the babies themselves and we'll just do the same thing over and over again. I don't need to like make hundreds and hundreds of these. They're just something fun, something a little bit different to look at. And I want to see how they go with the shrimp as well. Whether the shrimp bother them but like the shrimp are breeding so well in here too. It's like an extra way to make money. Like I told you like last time, there's all those little things you can do to a tank to just make it at least like profitable. Again, I'm not like super huge on making profit like anymore, but like these are, yeah, the shrimp, like it just, to me, it feels useful.
It's
like,
also cool to have shrimp.
I know, exactly.
Watching them crawl around and stuff.
Exactly. And like they keep the tank clean too.
Yeah.
So I really like that. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many shrimp, man. We'll have a look in here too. These are something I've been working on. These are emerald rasboras, and you don't ever really see them because they're just so like elusive. But I can scare some to the front. But they're a really beautiful fish in a planted tank. But they're also really easy to breed. All I do is have a container like this in the tank, and I put a bit of yarn in there with a rock. And to breed them, I keep the fish happy, give them lots of bug buffet and some nice foods like brine shrimp. And then every day or every second day, I come and check the mops. I check the bucket and see if there's eggs. So there's always a few stragglers in here, and that's always a good sign that they've been breeding. Yeah, there's heaps of eggs in here, dude. I saved this for us to look at, actually. These are really similar to the celestial pearl danios, but I've just been breeding these because I've never had much luck with the celestial pearls in comparison. But I don't know if you can see that. It's gonna be like freaking hard. Can you see the eggs? You wanna try and have a look at them? There's like one where my finger is. And there's one there. Let's do that one. Can you see that egg?
Oh yeah, you can see it. Okay.
Cool, yeah. So there's an egg there. And there's like about 20 or 30 in here probably. There's another one there. Yeah, it's hard.
Very difficult.
So take our word. And then all I do to hatch these is I bring them over here. And this is just like a 2-foot tank with nothing in it, no shrimp, no snails, nothing, just eggs. And I pour them in here. I throw a little bit of that floating plant in there too. And then they keep hatching. And then once I've got like fry this big, I stop adding eggs. And that seems to work really, really well. I've got like a few tanks with fry that I can show you later on. So they're super, super easy to breed. I find them really cool too. They're great little dither fish too because they're so small. So they've done really well. Another one I've gone back to. I think you'll like this tank, dude. Super Reds. These are the super red bristlenose. Everyone's seen them, but this is a tank this is like the definition of a breeding for profit tank.
Legit.
So like I don't know if you can see, these are all shrimp in there. There's probably close to like 600 or 700 red cherry shrimp in here. And there's also a ton of the super red bristlenose babies. So I had a pair of bristlenose in here and I let them breed. I had about 2 batches. Look at that, dude. Yeah, that's insane. This is like breeding for profit at its finest. I have to do so many water changes to this tank. It's not even funny. This is a lot of water change tanks. But yeah, I had the pair in there, and then they had 2 batches of babies. So it's like small ones and big ones. And at the second batch, I just took the pair out, put them in another breeding tank, which is over here, it's nothing special. I basically set up the exact same as this, and I'm just gonna keep doing that until I've got like thousands of bristlenose. I'm just gonna grow them out in here. I have to do quite a few water changes though, and the hornwort helps a lot too with keeping the tank clean. But yeah, super easy fish to breed. The shrimp help keep it clean too. Like you can see, we have to feed a ton of green cuisine down there as well. Like mush it up in like a big paste along the floor. And yeah, the fry eat it. The shrimp go nuts on it too. There's also rabbit snails in here, which is another really in-demand species. And apparently they're super easy to breed. I bred all these, but I've never had like a super abundant amount of success with them. So I'm looking at just trying to like get better at breeding them, and it's another way of adding a little bit of action to the tank. So
Plus they clean it.
yeah, they clean it as well. Yeah. So like it's definitely overstocked, but like it's a really cool tank to look at. And
It's pretty awesome.
yeah, as long as they keep the water changes up, all those bristlenose will be ready in like 2.5 months. So I can just like wipe the tank out and restart it. And it should do really, really well. Like this little tile as well, you can see like, see, we're gonna have to move out of the way for like a moment. This tile's got like 50.
Oh,
Yeah, so these work really well for like adding a place for them to like sit on and graze, you know. So yeah, that's a cool as tank, I think. And same goes over here. I've shown this tank before in tours, but there's some babies in here. So these are the peppermints. Dude, look how many red shrimp are in here. Can you see that? Sam, you're gonna need to fuck off. There's heaps of red cherry shrimp.
Army of them in here.
Yeah, there's also baby peppermints. So again, I'm not trying to like mass produce these anymore. I'm just breeding them for fun, and like what I'll do is I'll keep another batch of these and take them home and, you know, keep my progenies going. But there's probably like 20 or 30 baby bristlenose in here, and the fry of these are so incredibly cute. Don't you think?
Yeah, wow.
Like little like,
Almost like 201s. But
yeah, like, but I got
Tiny
heaps of them
dots.
too.
Yeah.
So I'll show you those in a moment. But like, they're like tiny versions of the adult fish. So again, like I'm not really doing anything special. These bred really, really well. Well, these started breeding after the temperatures dropped. So like once the room went from like 28 degrees down to like 24, 25, these started spawning, and lots of water changes helped as well. So, but yeah, this is like a great little breeding for profit tank. Like, dude, I don't know how many shrimp would be in here. What do you reckon?
Hundreds.
Yeah. And in combination with the other tank. I mean, there's probably 30,000 shrimp in the room at the moment.
I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. Oh, you can actually see them now. Better.
I mean, even up here, dude, like this tank I was using to grow out otocinclus because I want to try and breed them. And instead of it being for that, now it's an orange shrimp tank. Look at this. Can you see them all?
Yeah.
Coming out of the hornwort? Like, dude. So there's orange shrimp, red shrimp. There's a few autos in here, but like, this is basically just a shrimp breeding tank at this point with some autos in it. So, but yeah, talking about the 201s, this tank's insane. I'll grab some bug buffet.
This is my favourite tank.
Yeah, for sure. So the male, I think he actually has wrigglers. He's actually got another batch in there. Yeah. I don't know how many he's got. There wasn't a massive batch, I don't think. We might have let him out already. I don't know, this tank's starting to get like a bit ridiculous. There's definitely too many babies in there, but he did have like some wrigglers last week, so there should be some in there. I'm worried that like now it's like hit this like critical mass. Like if you look under that.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, there's way too many in there. Like, I don't know. How many you reckon?
I'd guess like 100, eh?
Yeah,
Like the last time we counted, it was like 50, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull this tank apart and start selling them. I mean, they're everywhere, like everywhere. I want to see a tiny baby because I'm worried he ate the last batch then, which would mean that it's time to stop the ridiculousness. Yeah, I can't see anything in the back there, so maybe he did. No. Damn it. But they have been breeding insanely good It's like 28 degrees, and I don't know what it is. They're just like, to me, like they seem to be a little bit of an easier hypensis to breed than some of the other ones. Like I said in some of the breeding videos I've talked about these, for me, the only trick is just really clean water, like no nitrates. So if you just do like 50% water changes every day for like 2 weeks, and you've got like an adult group that are mature and settled in, they should start breeding. So to feed this tank, I just throw like tons of bug buffet in here, like 15 pellets, and they all just like start coming out and munching on them, and it breaks up everywhere and they all get to eat it. So the high protein element of this is really, really beneficial for like a tank like this, because these are all obviously carnivorous fish. Dude, look.
Sneaking out.
I do love that. Yeah. I've never seen a tank like this in my life, so. That's awesome. Wow. There's at least 3 different generations in there that I can see now. I just can't see any super young ones. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. There's definitely gonna be 100 in there. It's a pretty cool tank. So, we'll show you this one. This is a tank that I've shown tanks like this before, but this is just a Hillstream Loach breeding tank. I've got a new way that I want to try and breed these, which I'm going to do a video on, so I won't talk about yet. But basically, there's probably a good 200 or 300 of these in here as well. And these are just your normal Hillstream Loaches. They are such a fun fish to keep, and they're so easy to breed. So all I did was, you do need like mature adults. I think the fish need to be at least a year to a year and a half old to start breeding. But basically what we did, remember when we set this up together?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just put like a ton of rocks in here, and I feed it bug buffet and smash it up like this so there's all the particles. And I put 3 pairs, so 3 males, 3 females, and they just went nuts. And you can see like they're hidden pretty well. It's like babies all over the rocks. I think the problem with breeding Hillstream Loaches is like, it's all dependent on the first batch of fry, because what happens is like the first batch that they breed, the first batch grows up and then it starts to eat down all the other ones that they continue to breed with.
Yeah.
So you'll only get like 1 lot, right? So I guess like my idea is to take the pairs and put them in smaller tanks with like just gravel.
Yeah.
Breed them like, and then take the pair out after a week and move it tank to tank like the rainbows, and see if I can't get like better, you know, a better flow of babies instead of like doing this whole rock pile colony method.
Yeah. Probably get a better turnout.
But there's like, I wish I had like a camera that could show you exactly what I'm looking at right now, but there's like a good 20 or 30 that have started to come like from underneath. They're nocturnal fish as well. Can you see like pairs there? Like little babies and stuff?
Oh yeah, you can see them crawling around.
Yeah. That could be a really good one to breed for profit for people, I think. There's like 6 or 7 that I can see right there. They're really expensive here in Australia at the moment still, so we sell heaps of them on the website. Every time I have them, I sell out. This is cool. In here, these are the Napawensis cories, and there's tons of eggs in here. So I had just females in here, and then the other day I was looking in the shop, there was a spare male. So I thought I'd run out, so I added the male in here, and I didn't know that they'd bred, but there's eggs up here. So I'm gonna have to pull these out after the video is done, but these are cory eggs. I think they're a really cool little cory. They stay tiny, and the males have really good color. They almost have this like galaxy pattern to them. So I call them galaxy cories, but again, that's just like a way of trying to get people to take a look at them, because if they're called Napo cories, people think, what the hell?
What's that?
Yeah. Up here, this is now a Blue Dream breeding tank. You can see there's a ton of these Blue Dreams in here. These are like a kind of a worse quality one. These are like carbon release at this point. But in here, I have a pair of red lizard whiptails. I've gotten eggs off them once, but I think they ate them. Like they weren't in a designated breeding tank. I think I had them in a tank with like either the 201s or something like that, and they never bred properly. But when Eric came to the fish room, he said that you needed to have like a vertical pipe for them to breed in.
That's a good idea.
So what I did was I just zip tied the pipe to a piece of driftwood. So we're gonna see if that makes a difference. But yeah, I just feed the tank bug buffet, and there's also some emerald grass borers in here too. And the only reason I have the emerald grass borers in there is they're a good dither fish, so they're gonna make like the catfish feel safe. And the emerald grass borers spawn, so they're gonna create like a food source for you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, don't keep all your eggs in one basket. It's another one of his rules. So I've got like a backup colony of emerald grass borers if I need to breed them again, because they're like a staple for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if anything ever happens to that colony, like they all die, there's an ammonia spike, something like that, I've instantly got another backup colony of them in here. But they're so flighty and elusive, I hate it. You never see them in this tank. I see them when I feed the brine shrimp, that's about it. So just take my word for it. In here, there's more blue dream shrimp, and these are pygmy cories. So the way I bred these was I basically set up a tank like this. I haven't gotten eggs out of these yet, I only set them up last week. But you add like 10 in a tank like this, cold water changes, lots of brine shrimp, and they literally just spawn on the glass. And then their mouths are so small they don't eat their own eggs or fry. So the fry just like hatch out and they just colony breed. So my idea here is just to colony breed the blue dream shrimp as well as the pygmy cories and see how they go. But they're all over the crypt that I've added here. So, can you see more?
Yeah.
They're really cute. I think they look like hummingbirds or I don't know what. Let's sneak down here. Let me show you another tank full of red cherry shrimp and a useless peppermint breeding colony. You can see in here, there's also a colony of blackworms. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's crazy.
But these are a pretty high quality red shrimp in here. Yeah, so there's just like a ton of them as well in here. I just think people find it cool to see like hundreds of shrimp in a tank. I at least do. So yeah, nothing really going on here, just shrimp. Back here, I'm gonna like back myself in this corner. Remember the longfin bristlenose you gave me?
Yeah.
These are the babies of those. Now I'm breeding again.
Oh my goodness.
So-
Another tank full of these guys.
Yeah. Like there's heaps in here. And again, I just throw bug buffet in there and they go nuts. But yeah, there's a tank full of them here. So these are the ones that you gave me like a year and a half ago. I bred those and then grew these out. That male just went cactus on me. I don't know what happened, but I ended up growing out a bunch of them over the room. So don't put all the eggs in one basket. And yeah, these bred again. So now I've got like F2s. Okay, dude. All right. I really wanted to show you this tank. So these are the Zebs. Now, I think I've had 2 batches. I've done a video on this, like that everyone can go and watch. But there's, I haven't counted them, but this is the breeding tank. So I haven't taken any babies out of here. These I wanted to breed for ages. I've talked about it in previous tours. These are a fish I like took 3 years ago, grew them up, and then they bred end of last year. And now the babies are starting to get a little bit larger. I'm setting up a room at home. So my plan is I'm gonna take all the babies out. I'm gonna put the babies at home in a grow out tank and just keep them at home for like the next 2 years until I can breed them again. And then I'm gonna keep the adult male that's been breeding. I'm gonna try and find like the female in here. I'm gonna leave them in there and hopefully spawn them again at the end of the year. So he's not like disrupted basically.
Yeah.
I might even leave like 1 or 2 babies in here just to like make them think that there was like breeding going on or something.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna take the rest of them home and see if I can't breed them at home.
That's
but I
a
want
good
to split it all up.
Yeah.
Like now that I've got the success with them. So the babies are getting quite large. I don't know if they're a bit different to the 201s. Like they don't just come out the same way. So there's a ton of blue dream shrimp in here too. I should probably need to start removing them because I feel like they might bother the breeding. Isn't it crazy for us to look at these after like obsessing over that breeding them for so long.
Just years.
Yeah. They're all under the rocks, and that's the funny thing about catfish. Like everyone's like, you either love them or you hate them. Like people complain about you never see them and all that, but I think they're cool. And this is #1 favorite fish in the entire hobby for sure. So there's something that like, no matter what I do, I probably will always have a tank of these in my house.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, no matter the price. Like, I don't even care if they cost like $15. I think they're still a really cool fish.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I haven't got a spawn out of them for probably since the start of this year. So we'll see. I think they're seasonal,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know what you think about that. There's probably people who disagree. But look at these. Those are the Ficadas. So they're a really good one, dude. They're probably another one of my favorite blue eyes. They're just so outstanding. Like,
Super colourful.
yeah, yellow fins, blue eyes. Look at them sparring, you know what I mean? Like, they're a little bit larger, but I think they're neat little fish. I might need to add some of them to my tank in the living room.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like all I do for those is I just feed them bug and I feed them brine shrimp, and they spawn up in these mops. And then I do the same thing with the eggs like I was showing you. I put them all in together, like Ivan Stoffies, Ficadus, all that. And then when I throw them in a tank, I throw them in a tank like this. So there's babies in here. There's honey blue eyes, I could tell.
They all just grow up together.
Yeah, so that one there would be a Ficadus. That one's a honey blue eye.
Yeah.
You know, I find they grow up decently together. Like that one actually might be a Tenellus.
There's a few here too.
Yeah, they all stay around the top and wig out together. But this isn't like a huge batch. I mean, you can get like decent sized, you know, clutches of all the different blue eyes. The only thing that sucks about doing it this way is you have to sort them at the end later, which sucks. But as long as all the females don't look the same, you're chilling. So that can be a good way to breed them. Down here, this is just like a little project I've done for a video, but I bred some Danios in the bucket. And then like here you can see there's like little tiny Wriggler zebra Danios in there. So that was kind of fun. A future video coming out. In here, these are the emerald rasboras I've been breeding. Have a look. You can get quite big clutches in them. There'd be like 30 or 40 in here. I don't know, they all stay behind the sponge filter like their parents. Like their parents. Yeah, how cool are they? You have to put these in a nano tank with like hair grass, and
Yeah.
they're not meant to look good in this tank. This is just to like spawn them, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's a cool tank. Come around the edge actually, go around the corridor now. So this is like these are the smaller ones. This is actually quite a large group of emerald rasboras.
I hate to see all the worms.
Yeah, they'll eat those as they get bigger, but there's like 50 to 100 emerald rasboras. So like, I basically wait until they're too, like the oldest fry are too big for what the youngest fry are gonna be. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll add like 10 days worth of eggs.
Yep.
And then like raise that as a clutch. So you'll get like bigger ones and smaller ones, but they eventually start to like average out a bit better.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like super easy to breed. I like doing easy things as well as doing like, you can only do like 1 or 2 hard things at a time.
Yeah.
So for me, like something hard would be like the rams. They're kind of like a pain in the butt, but these are easy.
Yeah.
So like makes me feel like I'm always having success. Rainbows are easy. The only thing that's hard is you got to feed the tiny babies. But like, you know, bristlenose, they're easy. Shrimp are easy. It makes you feel like if I was doing only hard things, like if I was just doing Zebs and 201s and like trying to do that for the whole room, it'd be like a mess.
It would be, yeah.
And it'd be like discouraging. So, dude, this is kind of cool too. Another bucket full of fry. These are minnows, white cloud minnows.
There's so many babies.
Yeah, I can't wait to post this video. Let's show the Arus.
Oh, yeah.
So I think these are definitely the coolest spotted blue eye you can get. And they're apparently not even going to be like the same family, which makes sense to me. So these are from the Aru Islands. These they look exactly like the snow whites I collected in Cairns, but they these have yellow fins and they have a hook on the back fin. and they're way prettier to me. So they actually lay smaller eggs, but I've got a breeding group of them going, and I've actually got Fry them on the other side of the room too. But these are gonna be super popular. But yeah, like their eggs are pretty tiny. And they're good at eating them too, unfortunately. I think they like it a bit hotter too. Oh yeah, I found one. Oh, they're
Very small.
they're smaller than the other ones. They're much of a muchness. There's another one there. Once you find one, you start finding heaps. But yeah, I raise these up in a different tank to the Newborn Angies for a good reason.
Yep.
Because the females look the same. So you have to like be very diligent. Diligent. You have to be very diligent about that. These are the adults of the prey cocks. So these are like F2s for me now. And you can see why I've kept breeding this line. They're really nice quality prey cocks. They're worth every cent. I keep them in the living room tank and they look awesome. So they're not colored up right now, but I think there's 3 females, 2 males in there, or I don't know, there's normally 5 fish, maybe one jumped out. But they're super easy to breed. More blue eyes. Let's show this tank.
Yeah, this looks sick.
Okay, we'll go for the top one. So up here, this is another good example of me doing something just for the sake of it. Like, these are white cloud minnows, and I bred them in this tank. And like, there's no point breeding these. Like, I probably lose money on it. They cost like 50 cents each wholesale. But they're really easy to breed and they're fun. So it's like, for me, I just wanted to like have a go at it, tick it off the list, and this is a tank full of them. And I love, for me, like the enjoyment of this hobby comes from like looking at a tank like this, just full of like hundreds of fry. And it doesn't totally matter to me what it is. Like, as long as it's not mosquito fish, I'm happy. So these are super pretty. There's like so much action in there. And yeah, but these are cool. These are some Congos I've grown out for a really long time. I bred all these off camera. Yeah. So I'm going to use these for breeding projects in the future. And it was kind of like a bit of like a fluke how I bred them. So I had like this big pair that Tony gave me. I put them in here and there was like a ton of mops, like heaps of mops. I put them in pure rainwater and then I was just feeding them. And then like one day I saw them spawning, there was eggs and I took them out and then raised these up. But then I never got more success. Like I haven't had much more time to try and breed them again.
Yeah.
The annoying thing about Congos is they're a bigger tetra. So you need like more rainwater, more RO water, which you have to make. So, and I don't know how old they need to be to breed. So I have some big ones on the other side of the room. But yeah, like, you know, I really, really want to get into tetras. Like, figure that out. Like, it's been a pain in the ass. I've never been good at it. And like, I kind of hate that. So I want to get better at it. But yeah, I literally just saved this tank to film for you guys because I thought it was cool to like breed your own Congo tetras.
They look awesome with the plants too.
Yeah, I know.
They're great,
they're pretty.
like planted tank fish.
They're cool. But yeah, nice fun fish. Down here, these are much of a muchness as well. These are Vietnamese white clouds I got off Eliza last week. And they look slightly different to like your white clouds, but like for me, I just looked at them and they were flaring up in her tank and I was like, can I have 6 of them please? And so I got those and I'm just gonna breed them up. But like, you know, you're literally talking about like different strains of the same apple. Like they look so similar. So, but when you get to this like level of like, you've kept so many different fish, you like, you just do want like to try the little different things out. So I'm definitely gonna breed those up. We'll go to the other side. Up here, this is the thread fins. Don't even bother trying to film these, dude. There's tiny, tiny fish in here. So these are the babies of these. And I wish the male would come out. There he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome rainbows. So these are one that I'm probably gonna continue to do. Like, they're on the same level to me as the prey cocks. I think they're really cool. And all I do is like any old rainbow fish, but with the bug buffet, the powder on top. and I've had quite a little bit of success with them. So even mixing it up into a milk helps too. You have to really target feed these though. Like if I miss feedings in there, they do shit. So I always have to like really try. Yeah, the parents look cool as too. I think they're neat. And look, there's more babies up here. See?
Oh, they're a bit bigger.
Yeah, so you can see those. But even at that size, they're a bit like shaky. And they're not, I don't think they're an easy rainbow to breed. Like,
More finicky.
yeah, you do really well from like outside, but then like, to me, it feels like almost like cheating.
Yeah.
Like if you throw something outside and you don't breed it yourself, like in like a controlled environment, it's like, yeah, you bred it. But like, I don't know.
They bred themselves.
They bred themselves, yeah. And like, I don't know. Like, it's just stupid. But yeah, that's probably the best way to breed them. I'm just like, I'm happy I bred them inside. What else we got? Oh, these are kind of cool. These are Melander rainbow fish. They're a nice little cool rainbow fish, new to the hobby. They're endangered, but they came off the illegal list, so now you can keep them. And out of all the fish that Eric and Regina saw here, these were their favorite. Can you believe?
Wow.
So it shows you like someone who's kept fish their whole life finds this awesome little fish, and I think they're really cool. So
Gorgeous.
I'm gonna try and breed them up. Should be heaps of eggs in here too. Rainbows are something as well, like you just want to keep because they're easy.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to like, I don't know, like it's nice to have just any form of success. It makes you like, for me, like I need action.
Yeah.
Like I need action, I need babies, I need eggs. So like these fish, like for me, tick that box. Makes me feel like, oh, there's something happening every day. Whereas like if you look at your little caddies, like nothing's happening.
They just hide away in the cave.
Yeah, which isn't a problem. I keep both, but where are the eggs? Swore they were laying. Oh, there's eggs. They're all like eyed up already, Jesus.
Better hatch.
Yeah, like look at that one. Oh my God, they're so dainty. See?
So small.
Yeah.
It's like seeds.
Dude, smaller. like a mustard seed. Cool. All right, you wanna go look at the neons?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah. So, this is the back room. We like store all like bug buffet and stuff here. You can see. There's back stock, so where we fulfill all the bug buffet from, and you know, other crap. I don't know what these are. Oh, bags. But there's a video of me building this rack, and I kind of built this without totally knowing what I was even going to do with it. Like the intention was actually to breed shrimp, and because this isn't on the auto water change system, it's actually ended up being a massive pain in the ass because like there's like so many tanks here. But I found an awesome use for this system, and that's breeding tetras. So basically what we've been doing, because these tanks are small, there's a reason the lights are off too. But because these tanks are small, you can like take them off the rack and like carry them over to the sink and like pour them out. So it makes it really easy to like clean them out, and you know, if there's fry in there, you can just pour the fry into a net, move into a grow out tank. So what we've been doing is making up RO water, and I've only recently had success with this since Regina gave me the advice. These tanks here, I've got the lights off because the fry and the eggs are photosensitive, so they don't like light. But these are neon tetra babies.
This is the coolest thing ever if you can
Yeah,
get them on camera.
right. We'll have to do B-roll. Definitely we're gonna get B-roll of this. So, but basically, what I've been doing is you make the pure RO water, or you can use rainwater as well, and you fill it up to about, I don't know, half filled. And I put a ton of moss or like plant in there, and I'll put like 5 fish in there. You leave them for a few days. You check for eggs. You have to be patient. They don't always spawn on the first day. Leave them in there like 2 or 3 nights, and then you start getting babies. And like there's babies in here. These are the neons. These are the emperor tetras. These are a little bit bigger, but I'm finally starting to figure out how to breed freaking tetras. So, and then once they start hatching out, you raise them up like any old normal fish. You fill up the tank full. What I'm gonna do is like, this is all pure RO water, but as these babies start to hatch out, I'm gonna fill it up with tap water. And that way, like the minerals in the tap water are gonna like acclimate them into our town water for their finish they grow out. But like it also buffers the tank a bit, so it's not gonna crash on me.
Yeah.
When the babies are starting to be like, you know, making lots of poop and that. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. In here, it says tenuous. There's not tenuous in here. These are ember tetras. So I've had these in here for like 3 days. So they haven't spawned yet, but like it just goes to show like I'm really, really excited to try and use this rack. The idea, like one of my ideas is to like set up like, you know, when I want to do like a spawn of neons or cardinals or something like that, hopefully I can set up like 4 tanks and do like a big batch spawn and then pour them all into like a 4-foot at the end and finish growing them out just for fun. Like I'm not doing it for money. Like I just want to make really cool quality fish, and they're all fish that I wanted to breed for ages. So we might finally have a use for these tanks out the back. There's just so many tanks here, like that you do kind of run out of ideas, and you run out of time as well, like in between filming and okay. So yeah, no, I'm really excited about this rack.